welcome back to another episode of the Back of a Length podcast. I'm Renee.
Bringing the energy. Yeah, at least one of us is bringing the energy. Ooh,
we're both going to bring the
start.
energy. I tell you what,
because the Blackcaps didn't. So somebody needs to do this week.
Someone needs to bring the energy. Well, I tell you what, Mark, they brought the energy on the first T20 they played against Australia down in Wellington. That went good. They got to 215 in their first innings where they were batting first, and then they didn't bowl too badly, but they still lost.
No. I thought they were a little bit unlucky. Tim David there at the end smacking 30 off 10 balls and hitting the 4 last ball to win. I called him last week, didn't I? I said him and Mitchell Marsh are the two to watch, and Mitchell Marsh batted well as well. And I'm only pointing that out because it's the first time I made a prediction that's actually come true.
Yeah, I don't actually like it, so if you could stop, that'd be good.
Yeah, so Australia are going to win a Test series.
Oh, cool.
There you go. Good joke. And then, it kind of got up to Auckland, went to New Zealand's National Stadium, and, just should have stayed down in Wellington.
Yeah, well, that's not a bad shout. So Friday night at a pretty packed Eden Park, all things considered, Blackcaps, they restricted Australia to 175. Some decent efforts in the field.
Yeah. Well, so you say decent efforts in the field. That's what lost them.
Some decent efforts.
Okay. Yeah,
not all of them were decent
was
efforts.
Absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, they've got a fielding problem, eh?
They really do. New Zealand apparently used to be one of the only teams renowned for good fielding, but I mean, you had Australia 122 for 6, 138 for 7, and you're thinking, sweet, you're in. Decent little partnership there at the end between Pat Cummins and Nathan Ellis.
Yeah.
Got Australia up to 174 all out. And you're thinking, okay, Eden Park, short boundaries, Friday night, dew's going to set in, under lights, should be a nice chase. Nah, you barely scraped 100.
Absolutely disgusting.
It was a joke. 29 for 4. That was when Mark Chapman went for a well-made 2 off 3 balls. We didn't even have a positive run rate. Glenn Phillips, 42. Josh Clarkson on debut with 10. Not bad, but he was probably playing the situation. And then Trent Bolt had a bit of a hit there at the end, 16. Also, the other thing, there's a few frustrations I've got from this series.
Go for it.
I can kind of see why they did it, and hindsight is obviously a wonderful thing. But Trent Bolt went for about around about sort of 80-odd runs off 6 overs in the 2 games. So you're kind of thinking, why bring him back? Why would you not blood a new young player instead? Take the opportunity.
Yeah. Look, Trent Bolt's playing a lot of T20 cricket and a lot of T20 cricket around the world. The only thing I can think of is they're getting him back in the Blackcaps prior to the World Cup. The World Cup is in June, and it is soon. I think
probably leave him at home, to be honest, based on that.
Well, I think it will be Trent Bolt's last outing for the Blackcaps. It has to be, for sure.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of. They also wanted to rest Tim Southee ahead of the Test series, so it's why he wasn't playing games 2 and 3. So you're then looking at Milne, Ferguson as your senior bowlers. There's no guarantee either of those can step on the field, which leaves you with Bensley as
that's true. So Bensley is obviously not a senior bowler. Sorry, I said that before you said senior bowler. So I get that, but Will O'Rourke or where's Henry Shipley? Was he injured?
So Henry Shipley, that's a great question because I actually love talking about Henry Shipley. Henry Shipley has been injured this entire Super Smash season and actually has only come back to the Ford Trophy in the last couple of weeks. He did play in the final of the Ford Trophy on Saturday. So he's had a very nasty back injury, I think, that has kept him out basically the whole season. But great shout. I would love to see Henry Shipley in.
You guys get riddled with that, your bowlers, don't they? Because Carl Jamieson's now being ruled out as well for the rest of the summer with another stress fracture at the back.
For a whole year.
Yeah.
He won't take up a New Zealand contract at this point, Kyle Jamieson, which is just gutting for him.
It's a shame because he started off so well, but this is the third or fourth stress, that's hard to say, even when I'm sober, stress fracture of the back that he's had in the last couple of years. So he needs to, I don't know, he needs to go and get some specialist advice, or unfortunately for him, consider maybe that this being a bowler lark isn't the career for him.
I don't know what else he can do.
Before he does irreparable damage.
Yeah, or he just has to go back to the T20 circuit and just play short form, and that's it. There's no test bowler.
Yeah, there is that, which would be a shame because he would be probably one of your more senior ones in the next couple of years when the likes of Saudi retires. And unfortunately, today we have had quite a big retirement from the Blackcaps.
Yeah, there's going to be a big hole to fill. But let's finish our talking about these T20s, because I tell you what, Mark, it went from bad to worse on Sunday.
I had honestly forgotten about Sunday. I'm glad you've re-raised it because I've just etched that one out of the memory. Christ alive. That
was pretty horrific. I tell you what, the only thing I can think of that it went it got reduced to 10 overs. It rained, it didn't rain, it rained, it didn't rain. It was an awful, awful day for cricket. Like, you either just want it to rain or not rain. And then Australia got to 118 in 10.4 overs, left the Blackcaps 126 to chase, thanks to our old foe.
DLS.
DLS.
Messrs. Duckworth, Lewis and Stern.
Yes. And they did not get that in the slightest.
They got nowhere near it.
Disgusting.
Yeah, kind of good hits, to be fair. Good hit-outs from Matt Shaw and Glenn Maxwell in the middle of the Australian innings there. Travis Head, 33 off 30, never got going, got dropped. Your fielding in the third game was horrific. And fair enough, the ball's a little bit wet, I guess. I'm trying to find an excuse, but that's not really an excuse at international level, because the catches that got dropped were just absolute dollies. So, you can't even blame DLS for that, because Travis Head got 33. He should have got around about 10. I think Matt Shaw got dropped as well. So, yeah, just a bad day out at the office, really.
It was, apart from, who did take one very good catch? That was Will Young.
He did take a good catch, to be fair. Yeah, he did take a good catch. And if you were at the ground on Friday, apologies on Renee's behalf, because she was very, 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 very vocal on her infatuation with Mr. Will Young. So
it was actually showing him some support. Look, it's not my fault if Mitchell Santner wants to be an idiot and send old mate Will Young down to field right in front of me, and that's just what's going to happen.
I think that was probably the highlight of the two games for me, to be honest. So we went to both the Friday games and the Sunday games, and in the Australia batting innings, Renee goes, "It's Will Young," and she's slapping me on the leg, which was, she did it quite hard, so it was quite sore. She goes, "It's Will Young. I'm going to go and speak to him. I'm going to get closer to him." And I go, "Oh, okay."
I did not say I was going to speak to Will Young.
No, sorry, you said you were going to get see. Same thing. You're going to go see Will Young, which you could see from our seat. Anyway, I go, yeah, okay, you do you. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to say anything that's going to change your mind. And then I watch you move down with a massive smile on your face, 2 rows to take a seat 2 rows closer to Will Young. And if you follow our podcast account on Twitter, you'll see that there are a couple of photos, because then I was like, I have no idea what's going on, but I'm actually just enjoying the peace and quiet for 5 minutes. So I have a couple of drinks, watch a couple of balls. I look down and she's moved 3 rows further down. It's almost as if, those cartoons where somebody looks behind and the person following them stops. And then they carry on walking and they look behind, and just one of those situations. It was just surreal to watch until the end. You got down to like the second row from the front, and I was like, oh my God, she's made it. Yeah. It was a nice 20 minutes of peace and quiet and what the hell is going on.
Well, you're welcome for that entertainment, and to all of 402/403 at the North Stand at Eden Park. You are welcome. I'm sorry for that yelling, and there was some other yelling about where's Finn Allen.
Where's Finn Allen? And you were also
Ben Sears chance definitely came out, and
you were asking why Will Young wasn't getting a ball.
And then also, this was my favourite one actually, apart from all those ones. Just the massive round of applause I gave when Josh Clarkson actually fielded the ball, having basically debuted last Wednesday and our sources say he touched the ball 3 times in one game. So, big cheers to Josh Clarkson. And Josh Clarkson, of course, taking his first international wicket finally on Sunday. So another very, very small victory. And what was a pretty miserable week to be a T20 Blackcaps fan.
Yeah, it was. It was disappointing. The other highlight from Sunday with the rain-affected delays was the probably the best atmosphere of the weekend, to be honest, when the security guards were jumping over the rope, which, I don't know, everyone seemed to enjoy. But yeah, Australia taking that series 3-0, really disappointing, which does kind of set them up well for the Test series, which gets underway on Thursday
down in the Basin Reserve, a sold-out Basin Reserve, actually. So the atmosphere is at least going to be absolutely pumping. Well, let's start with the news that came out today. New Zealand will be without one of its former premier best bowlers, having had a tough season. I think Neil Wagner has made the right call today and has retired from cricket. Officially, his retirement will be at the end of this 2-match Test series. However, it's kind of effective immediately because New Zealand Cricket has confirmed he won't be in the starting lineup for Wellington and will leave prior to the Christchurch Test. So, the end of one of my favourites. Honestly, I'm like a little bit emotional.
Yeah, so he's retired from international cricket, so we should still see him on the domestic circuit, which is great. Good news for Northern Districts. But yeah, I don't think I've ever seen a bowler bowl with as much grit and determination as him. Like, you see the likes of Saudi and Bolt get the accolades for the wickets that they've taken, but generally when things go flat, which there was a period of cricket, we talked about it last week or the week before, a period of cricket where batsmen or teams were scoring like 600, 550, and they were playing off against each other and, 4 or 5 down or whatever. Neil Wagner would come on and would just do the hard yards. Like, he'd really dig it in every ball and try and make it uncomfortable for the batsman. To be able to do that over and over and over and over and over and over again is incredible. So, yeah, he's going to be a massive haul because I don't know who at the moment is going to be able to fill that void when things aren't going according to plan with plan A. He's your plan B. Who fills that gap?
I have absolutely no idea. You would have said Kyle Jamieson because he's still a bouncing, but he is out. And there's just no one else around who has that real kind of fire, grit, determination that Neil Wagner has, unless you go quite young. We haven't had, obviously, our 4-day competition here. The Plunket Shield has been hasn't been played since mid-November, just how the cricket season goes. So you'd be... I don't know, maybe it's someone like Zach Folkes. It's a bit of a goer. Some people have said Ben Sears, but I don't
think
like
he's
that.
Quick enough. And this is the thing about Wagner, right? Is Wagner wasn't really that quick, but he just got it in an area that made it really uncomfortable for batsmen. So you don't want your quick bowlers to be banging it in every ball because batsmen will then just sit on the back foot. Yeah. The great thing about Wagner was he was able to push batsmen back and then he'd bowl a fuller one, or he'd push batsmen back and the likes of Saudi and Bolt will bowl the fuller ones and the batsmen are a little bit more tentative coming forward, and that's what got the wicket. So it was a whole team plan as opposed to going, right, Ben Sears, you're, 23, 24, whatever he is, you're going to bowl short pitch bowling for the rest of your career and hope that you can get the same success as Wagner. The other thing about Wagner is mostly bowling to right-handed batsmen coming over the wicket as a left armer just creates a much different angle. So you'd be getting Ben Sears to completely change his whole bowling setup.
We'll just forget about Ben Sears then.
Sorry.
And the other thing
that one.
The other thing I don't know what they're going to do with Neil Wagner is just take someone who can look as angry and like terrifying running down the pitch to little old Steve Smith or Joe Root. Like, ooh, I'm scared. And also someone who's still willing to bowl about 10 more overs after receiving 2 cortisol injections into his broken foot.
There is that. Yeah, there is that. And again, that's that grit and determination, right? I don't think you've got anybody who just looks he looks like he hates being there.
But apparently he's like the nicest guy and he just loves cricket. And apparently he, like, his dressing room is the most like picturesque, perfect thing. Like on field, Neil Wagner is so different to off field Neil Wagner. Yeah, I know he'll be so
He reminds me a lot of Dale Steyn.
I love Dale
South
Steyn.
African, but Dale Steyn, like on the field, was such a fiery character, but off the field, like he just looks like somebody you'd enjoy going for a beer with.
I would love to have a beer with Dale Steyn. Like if I could have a beer with any cricketer, I would pick Dalstain.
Yeah.
Hands
Would
down.
you pick Dalstain?
Dalstain.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'd probably go Ben Stokes.
Oh, of course you would.
Yeah.
Terrible. Okay, so no Neil Wagner. Congratulations from us on to Neil Wagner's career. Like, we have just loved watching you play. So many good memories at the Mount on the pitch side. I have to give a massive shout out. You remember a few seasons ago we did a special when we came from the Mount, and we had Joseph Payne, JP, who was the lead chanter down at the Mount.
Yeah.
Neil Wagner is his favourite player, so I know he'll be feeling
waggy woo woo.
Waggy waggy woo woo, walking in a waggy wonderland.
He'll be a little bit disappointed today.
Yeah, very missed. But hopefully we'll get someone new in and someone who can make a good chant to their name.
Yes.
Right, so as we said, that test match kicking off this Thursday, and usually we'd run through a predicted lineup, but Mark, I can't pick it because we've got Daryl Mitchell in the team who's got a foot injury, Rachin Ravindra in the team who has had a back injury, Devon Conway bruised his thumb on Friday night, and Matt Henry has been ruled out of the T20 series with precaution, so it's unclear if he'll be fit to go. So I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Ravindra and Henry they were just precautionary. So I feel like they will be fit to go. But yeah, Conway is the big cloud because we've obviously discussed before who is your best option to open at the top of the order. Now, this might be an opportunity for somebody to come in. I don't quite know who that would be, but yeah.
Will Young.
Well, it probably will. Well, it would have to be actually Will Young, wouldn't it? So, yeah, you'd have Tom Latham, who had a really good innings on Saturday in the Ford Trophy final for Canterbury. So he's coming in off a bit of form. It'd be good if he is fit to play. I assume if he doesn't play the first test, he should be fit for the second test, given that it's just a sort of a bruised thumb. Possibly something they can manage with injections. And maybe he needs to show the grit and determination that Neil Wagner did.
There we go. That's who will be the new Neil Wagner person in the field, the Ampa Uppera. So as we said, that test starting on Thursday. Look, tune in. It's going to be Australia will do a show of great performances, high talent. New Zealand will do their best.
I like how you term that. Yeah, New Zealand will show up and they will try, and they need to perform better. They just need a little bit more application, I think, than what they showed in the T20s. Obviously, they've got time to do that over a 5-day Test match series. I'm most looking forward to seeing how green the deck is in Wellington. I think it's going to be. I don't think you'll be able to tell where the pitch starts and the outfield, like where that meets, where the seam is. So fingers crossed it's going to be good. We'll obviously keep you guys updated on our socials as the game goes, just in case like us you're stuck in work, but we'll just watch it anyway, to be honest.
Yeah, I always just watch it at work. Don't tell my boss.
Chuck on the TV. Yeah.
If you do make it down to that game as well, send us some photos at Back of a Length on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever you're on. We'd love to see it and just sit there in jealousy. Right, before we wrap up, let's go to our first 11 of the week.
You're very melodical today.
Yeah, I am. Well, as we said, bit of rain around on Sunday. Likely to be some rain across the Test series. Let's be real, it's New Zealand in March. First 11 of sort of outdoors weather related people.
Okay, I'm interested. You told me this before the episode started, and in my head I've been going through who there could possibly be, and I'm struggling.
I can't wait for you to tell me that every single one is a complete stretch.
Okay. Which
one,
I will.
Chris Gale.
A complete stretch.
Like gale force wind.
No, I get that. Gale force wind, yeah.
Okay.
No, I like that. Rock's a good start.
Okay. 2, Alex Hales.
Yeah.
3, Sonny Gariska.
Yeah, okay, nice.
4, Trent Bolt. Like a lightning bolt.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it, but...
5, Suresh Raina.
Yeah.
6, Harris Sohail.
Crikey.
7, Washington Sunder. 8,
is that a cross between Sunny and Thunder? Because that's what we get in Auckland sometimes.
Yeah, just as what happened on Sunday. Yeah. Okay, cool. 8 is Jake Weatherald. 9, Jon Snow. 10, Nick Winter. And 11. 11. Sorry. Is Ray Bright.
Good God. Is that a weather? What's the weather doing today? Bright.
Bright and sunny. As Scotty Stevenson would say, there's a lot of weather around.
They come up with some comments, these commentators. To be fair, not as much of a stretch from most of those as I was initially thinking.
Thank you.
Last couple, maybe a little bit average, but yeah, good work. Good
not
work as
my
always.
worst first 11.
No.
Oh, thank you so much. All right, if you want to get in touch, as we said, we are on the socials at Back of a Link, Twitter, Instagram, on Facebook as well. Give us a follow there, and just strap in and see where this test series takes us. If you are in Wellington, have a great time, and we'll bring you all the results of that
Jealous.
next week. Yes, jealous.
Bye.
Okay, bye.